Hello, dear colleagues. Welcome to the next session of Seminar in Language Teaching and Learning, which focuses on reviewing literature. Dear colleagues, reviewing literature is mistakenly understood and construed by learners and even researchers, naive researchers, and sometimes by instructors to summarize the previous studies and also previous research. But this is not the actual meaning of reviewing literature or literature review. The purpose of literature review is to um, build on the existing knowledge. It means that you synthesize or bring together whatever is related to your topic. Actually, the first important thing is that through reviewing literature, you find your topic of interest. Through reviewing literature, you can find and you can understand the current understanding. You put them together and you can say that, okay, these things have been done and we have these things, but there are some gaps, there are some slots to be filled. And the other important point is that when you synthesize and bring together whatever is related to your topic, then you succeed in establishing gaps. So in any area of research, there is some knowledge and there are some gaps. So you want to familiarize yourself with the previous understanding and knowledge and also find a gap. The purpose is to build on the existing knowledge. You should use the existing knowledge. So you want to find what is known and also what need to be explored. If you do that, so there is no need to start from scratch. It's not possible to start from scratch. When other thinkers, when other researchers have traveled the way and have explored, tried to understand something, and they have understood something, and they have presented you with new understanding of the topic, so there is no need to go the same way and do the same thing if you are sure. So you go one step further. You go beyond that stage, that step. You use the findings of that stage and that step, and you go one step further. That's why we review the literature. We want to find what has been done, what has been found, what has been understood, and what needs to be explored further. What are the gaps? What are the slots? The other actually function or purpose of reviewing literature is contribute to the existing knowledge. So we have the existing knowledge at the level of, for example, 50 or 50%. So you want to contribute to the 50%. You want to after your research, your project, you want to have 51% in that area, 51% in that actually topic of interest. You want to have 52%. You are contributing 1%, 2%, 3%, 10%. So all topics have been addressed, all topics have been explored, The general areas of research have been explored, and your purpose is not to find a totally new topic or area of interest. You want to contribute the previously explored area. Sometimes we say that this topic is underexplored. It doesn't mean that the general area is underexplored. The general area is explored, but you have found a gap, you have found a slot, you have found one dimension and aspects of that topic or area, and you say that this, okay, this position, this place, this point, this aspect, this dimension, from this perspective, it is underexplored. Our understanding is incomplete. So if you want to show that, you know you are familiar with the current understanding, and you know that some aspects need further research, and you want to show the examiners, the referees, the scholars that you have used other studies, you are knowledgeable enough about the previous studies and research, so you need to do literature review. In this way, you can show, you can convince others, the scholars, the examiners, that you are contributing to the literature. Research is done only to contribute to the literature. If you're not contributing, if you're repeating something without contributing to the literature, so you're doing nothing. It is worthless. It's because you are not contributing to the current understanding. So one of the actually purposes of reviewing literature, as I mentioned, is standing upon the shoulders of others. Isaac Newton says that if I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. It means that he used the findings, the understandings of other thinkers that enabled him to see further. So the purpose of research is to see further. Others, previous thinkers, previous researchers, practitioners have seen something, but you need to see something more. You want to see further. How it is possible to see further? First, you should stand upon the shoulder of others. How? Through reviewing the literature. One of the important things about reviewing the literature is that when you start to review something, if you're not familiar with the topic, your understanding of the paper, your understanding of the chapter of the textbook you're studying is limited. It is not actually thorough. You find few actually points in that article when you're reviewing. But gradually, when you improve your understanding of the topic, you familiarize yourself with different dimensions and aspects of that topic, perspectives of that topic. When you study, when you review, for example, some text, you attend to many points. Many things come to your mind. You try to interpret many ideas or pieces of information inserted in that article or paper. So please, if you want to have a better review of literature, review more and more, study more and more in order to enlarge the breadth and depth of your understanding. The other important thing that reviewing is something that you should necessarily record others' ideas and report others' ideas. So when you review the literature, because you want to use, I mentioned, you want to build on the existing knowledge. So if you review a textbook, if you review a paper, your purpose is to use the ideas, the understandings, the points, the important points, the important works in your research, in your writing. So the purpose is to record them, the purpose is to report them, the purpose is to use them in your writing. In this way you can build on the existing knowledge. So when you are reviewing the related literature, please cite the source you have used or reference the sources you have used, even if you are using one keyword, even if you are using a key phrase. But you may ask how it is possible, what are the options, whether the actually methodologies or whether the methods, different methods for citing and referencing the literature in our own writings, in our own works. Let me show you something that there are some manuals, and for example this one, the 7th edition publication manual of the American Psychological Association, APA. You can use different actually editions, 7th and 6th edition of this actually manual. It helps you to learn how to do citation, how to do referencing. For example, let me search here. Okay, how can I find this one? Okay, in text citation. I'm waiting. Okay. It failed to find it. I think there is this one here. Okay. Okay, if you use this manual, it tells you how to use citation and referencing. Let me show you one example in this manual. In text citation, for example, you see that when you want to review the literature, first of all, you should write down, you should record the source name and information. It means that this is called referencing. Okay, you should have a record of the source actually information, name of the source, year of publication, the topic and title, and also the journal in which it has been published, and also other information including DOI and volume and number of publication or journal. You can see that the first thing that you should do is this, that you should have a record of this one. For example, you see that there is a textbook in field of teacher education. It is called Mindful L2 Teacher Education, a Sociocultural Perspective on Cultivating Teachers' Professional Development. Because you are teachers and you want to professionally develop, this book can help you to develop professionally. It improves your thinking about the profession of teaching and learning and how to be a teacher, or the professional identities of a teacher. For example, you are reviewing this book. Okay, this is the title of the book. So you copy paste the title of this book, yes, and you go to Google Scholar, yes. You paste the name of the textbook and you actually use search. So this is that book, yes, this is the book. You have the title of the book here. Then here you have something like this, a double comma. So when you click on that, then we have different ways of referencing: MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, and Vancouver. But we in social science and humanities, or as researchers of social science, humanities, and educational research, use APA, or the style provided in this manual. So you copy paste this way. You copy paste this referencing and use it in your own notebook. Again, pasting. So here you have the reference of the book or the article you are doing what? You're reviewing. For example, in the textbook, okay, let me okay, use mindful. I have this book here. This is the book. For example, you are reviewing this textbook, and this is the first page. This is acknowledgement and contributors, something like this. Laying the foundation for, okay. Mindful L2 Teacher Education. Here you see, for example, this book is about what happens inside the practice of L2 Teacher Education. By practices, we mean the activities in which teachers and teacher educators engage within L2 Teacher Education program. Our interest in this practice is not so much with the practice themselves, but what we, as teacher educators, are attempting to accomplish through their practices, how we go about accomplishing our goals through the quality and character of our interaction with teachers, and most importantly, what our teachers are learning as they engage in this practice. We are deeply committed to seeing the ways in which engagement in the practice of L2 Teacher Education influence how teachers come to think about and interact with their students, and the ways in which teachers come to understand both the scope and impact of their teaching. Okay, you can see this sentence. This is a long sentence, but you can see some ideas here. It means educators, committed to seeing. It means that when we talk about teacher education, we are committed to seeing the ways in which engagement in the practice of teacher education influence how teachers come to think. So when you have teacher education, that teacher education should influence how you come to think about and interact with your students. So if you are here as teachers of English, yes, I mean your MA studies, what you are doing is studying teaching foreign languages. So what should happen to you? What should happen to you? You should be engaged in teacher education activities, the courses that we have at our university. The courses that you have or the activities that you are engaged in should influence how you think and interact with your students. So from this actually sentence or idea, we can infer that the teacher education courses, teacher education program, I have studied English teacher education. You are now you're studying English teaching at University of Zabul, like other universities of Iran. So why you are here? You are here to change your understanding and also your practice, your attitude toward students. So from this one you can infer that teacher education is there to improve student teachers, would-be teachers' understanding. Suppose that you are writing something, you are researching the topic of teacher learning and teacher education, then you want to say that, yes, I am studying on teacher education courses in Iranian context. I want to see whether teacher education program or teacher education courses which are similar in different universities or throughout Iranian universities, I want to see that this teacher education program is effective in helping teachers to develop professionally or not. Then you cite that because teacher education, the goal of teacher education course is to improve students, teacher candidates like you, teacher learners. Because the purpose, the goal of teacher education program, MA program, is to improve the quality of students. Okay, so here you should reference. You can reference what? Mindful teacher education, this one. Johnson and Golumbek, 2016 or 2016. And what page? What is the page? The page is this one. Page 3. This is called citation and referencing. So when you want to convince others, persuade others to accept your ideas, you should show that you are speaking using proofs, using documents. For example, you say that teacher education program should improve the quality of teacher learners' understanding, practice, and identities. You can use, for example, this textbooks. This is called referencing. So from now on, when you study, when you review the literature, textbooks, articles, anything, okay? So when you're studying, please purposefully study and critically study the sources and think about the ideas. If you using directly the idea, use quotation marks and the page numbers. If you use this idea, not the language, not the directly the language or the words used by the author, writer of the textbook, so you can use the idea, you can reference the idea, you can cite the idea, okay? So we have two types of citation: citing the ideas and exact vocabularies or language used by the author. But sometimes you do not use the author's exact wording, diction. You only use the ideas. Why you use the ideas? This is your idea, but you want to support your ideas. Okay, you use referencing. So review literature. The purpose is to the purpose of reviewing literature is to build on the existing knowledge, to show that you are familiar with the existing knowledge, to show that you are using the existing knowledge, to show the examiner that you are not repeating the repeated works. You want to show that you are contributing to the existing knowledge. In this way, you convince that you are something worthwhile and you are not doing something which does not contribute to the current understanding and knowledge. So in order to successfully review the literature, please use citation and referencing. Citation and referencing can be used when you borrow the idea and the exact language by the author, or sometimes you use others' ideas, or sometimes you use your ideas, but you want to support your ideas. You want to convince others to actually accept your ideas. Okay, thank you. In the future, I hope you successfully review the literature associated and related with your topics of interest, and I try to actually help whenever you need help you with actually reviewing the literature. You may encounter or face with some problems or some troubles, and these troubles are because you are not sometimes familiar with the discourse, with the ideas, with the concepts, and the ideas, the points that you extract from your review literature may be if you familiarize with the topic and the points or the dimensions of that area and topic, then you actually would be more critical and your understanding becomes thorough. Thank you. Bye till next time.